And the results from race 1 form the grid for race 2. So Josh Cook, having already closed up the championship from 3rd place, starts on pole position in his dark blue Renault Megane in bright sunny conditions. Liam McMillan's red and yellow Seat Leon lines up on the outside of the front row of the grid, with Maurice Hayden's blue Megane with the black roof 3rd, and then top 2 in the championship, Adrian CHURCHILL and Gary Duckman in the yellow and blue Seat Leon are 4th and 5th. Rev rise for the 2nd race of the weekend. And this could be a great opportunity for Josh Cook on pole position, the dark blue Megane. Great start though from car number 1. Adrian CHURCHILL's judged that really well. Goes around the outside of Liam McMillan's yellow and red Seat Leon and will take the lead, or won't he? No, a little bit of quick dry there on the oil at Paddock Hill Bend just denies him. Slow start from Steve Johnson, almost being passed by Rob Smith's BMW at the back of the field as everybody shuffles their way around Druids for the first time. Number 8 machine of Kevin George on the outside, the white, red and black Astra. Josh Cook leads then, but it's CHURCHILL in 2nd. 3rd place is McMillan, 4th is Gary Duckman. And there's the orange car of Dan Malone that had problems early on. On board with Adrian CHURCHILL. Car number 1, this Astra of the reigning champion. He really needs to get his act together this weekend. Disappointed to be 4th place in race 1. Oh, and off backwards goes the number 8 machine of Kevin George. Let's have a look here. Oh, just loses it. Big tank slapper as he exits McLaren and onto Clearways. On board with Dan Malone. We're right behind. He gets sideways, tries to catch it, and the car just snaps away from him. Now then, this is trouble for Maurice Hayden in the pit road. 3rd on the grid, not what he wanted, but look at Josh Cook racing away from CHURCHILL and McMillan. 4th place is Gary Duckman, leading the charge behind Ryan Bensley. And there is Dan Malone. He started 4 places in front of the BMW of Rob Smith, and another monster moment in front. Joe Girling only just holding on to that. Obviously got to be a little bit more cautious about how you turn in the Astra. It's the 2nd time we've seen a monster moment there. On board with Joe Girling, turns in, too much curb, ooh, and on the brakes and grabbing a gear, but just about got it all together. And right behind with Rob Smith in the BMW, everybody in front of him has these major moments, and Girling saved it there by just jumping on the gas and trying to get the wheels to drive him out of it, and it worked. So Cook pulling away from the battle for 2nd. The 2 yellow and red cars, number 1 Adrian CHURCHILL in the Astra, and right behind him number 4 Liam McMillan, the Seat Leon, the identical Leon, although different colours, of Gary Duckman with the blue and yellow colour scheme in 4th place. They lose another couple of points to series leader CHURCHILL at this rate. Some way further back are the rest of them. Ryan Bensley there, Joseph Girling, and then Rob Smith. Smith in the BMW. Up to Paddock Hill Bend. He's the only non-front driver in the field. Perhaps in wet weather conditions, that's a real disadvantage for him. BMW not quite yet on the pace of the front-running front-wheel drive cars. Does look entertaining though. Josh Cook really making hay while the sun shines here. Unfortunately for him, doesn't make any difference how far he's ahead of CHURCHILL. If CHURCHILL's still in 2nd, the points gap won't grow any just because Cook is racing away. What he needs is for Liam McMillan in 3rd place and Gary Duckman in 4th place to somehow work their way past car number 1, Adrian CHURCHILL. At the moment, McMillan is intent on trying to do that. CHURCHILL's having to be a little defensive in the corners, making sure he doesn't go too far out on the racing line and leave the door open, because McMillan is all over him. With Gary Duckman, the back of these 3 cars now having joined the battle. McMillan makes his move down the outside into Graham Hill Bend. He's got good traction, he's got the racing line, and CHURCHILL gives him room to survive. McMillan just a little bit of wheel spin on the grass there. Adrian CHURCHILL, the boost up in the Astra, up on the inside, turns into Surtees. Has he got the line? Yes, takes the right-hander, McLaren, oh! And that's because Liam McMillan has flown off the road. Maybe he found himself squeezed a little by CHURCHILL and had nowhere to go. Gary Duckman there, on board with Duckman. Let's have a look. Right in front of us is the Leon and McMillan. He's on the brakes and just drifts out wide. There'll be dirt and marbles out there, bits of worn out tyre, and they reduce the grip, and off he went. On board with Liam. Understeer, 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 oversteer, oversteer, oversteer. Grab a gear, grab another gear, and rejoin. Panic over. Well, kind of. Oh dear, that's a drama for Martin Galpin's Nissan 370. He's pulled off in a cloud of smoke. Long way yet to go in this race. Well, Josh Cook, the leader. Now look at this, slowing dramatically in Paddock Hill Bend. No, he was running away out front. That's a real heartbreak for the McGann driver, and that's a real disappointment for the championship as well. Oh, the car misfiring really badly, fluffing away around Druids, and that leaves this three-way battle that was for second now as the lead, and maximum points at the moment being held by car number 1, Adrian CHURCHILL. Gary Duckman, second in the championship, car number 5 right behind him, and then Liam McMillan. Well, McMillan has looked very racy. He's looked quicker than CHURCHILL so far. Oh, and he's inside Duckman. Great exit through clearways up to second place. What a smart bit of overtaking. I don't think Gary Duckman expected that at all. Liam McMillan really got the power down well, and now he closes in. And hang on a minute, here comes Josh Cook. Well, what happened there? Did he just miss a gear for a, I don't know, quarter of a lap or something? Maybe the car misfired intermittently. Either way, it's all going on now because CHURCHILL is down to third. He's just been passed by both Seat Leons. Made a mistake up at Druids, left the door open, and both Seat drivers went straight through. There's our third Seat driver, looking very second-hand, the car of Dan Malone. And he is now back behind the BMW of Rob Smith. Smith is now up to 6th position. They are a little way behind the leaders. Ryan Bensley in front in car number 7. It's looking pretty second-hand Malone's Seat Leon, isn't it? On board with Dan. Into clearways. This corner just goes on forever and ever, still in the same corner. Well, now called the Clark Curve. Safety car is waiting to pick up the leader, though. And through goes Steve Johnson at the back of the field. Who will be the leader that's picked up? Liam McMillan it is this time round. McMillan romping away from Gary Duckman and Adrian CHURCHILL. Josh Cook, well, that's what it's all about. Seat Leon headlight, at least the team know where to go and pick it up from now. Was right on the racing line. Well, on board with Dan Malone, big moment in front from, whoa dear, Ryan Bensley, and that's where the damage was done. So safety car pulling off, and now the race to the flag. Liam McMillan out front. Right behind him is Gary Duckman. Adrian CHURCHILL in 3rd place, and I'm afraid poleman Josh Cook in the McGann is not going to challenge here for a spot on the podium, and certainly not for a race win. It looks like McMillan has just got sorted out, and oh my goodness, the Seats get a break as Adrian CHURCHILL runs off wide down at the bottom of Paddock Hill Bend. Not enough to allow Josh Cook to get by him, but vitally in 2nd place at the moment, Gary Duckman, that yellow and blue Seat, 2nd in the championship. He will close a fraction on Adrian CHURCHILL in this one. It is all about fractional advantages, but the checkered flag awaits, and Liam McMillan may be on his way to a 1st win of the season. 2nd in race 1, the checkered flag is out. He will be 1st in race 2 at Brands Hatch. What a weekend he's having. Victory for the 1st time of the season for Liam McMillan. 2nd position went to Gary Duckman. Adrian CHURCHILL in 3rd place, but undoubtedly the happiest man on the top step of the podium.
It was very tough because it was 1st and 2nd and 4th. It was all over the place, but yeah, managed to get a good restart and end up with a win.
There was oil from the previous race, and nobody really knew what to expect from me when into Paddock Hill. Evidently it was quite bad. There were a lot of sideways movements, and I think Liam went wide up through Surtees as well, so that allowed me to sneak through past him. But then somebody else dumped oil on clearways, and it was chaos at that point. It was just hold on to the car and do the best you can, really. So I'm pleased with 2nd from 5th. Got to be happy with that.
It was hard work, to be honest with you. The Seats are very quick round here. I was just saying, you know, we've got to try and do what we can on the start and then really defend. But there was oil down, 2 lots of oil down, and I was just a bit cautious in the second lot of oil, and that's when, fortunately, Liam got past, and Gary tagged on, so there wasn't much I could do, really.
Well, this race, like race 1 of Brands, has only served to tighten up the championship and to jumble up the order a little. Liam McMillan then victorious. What can he produce from race 3? Well, that might depend on where he draws a grid position. The winner will start, 8th. That's hard luck. So the top 8 will be reversed for race 3 coming up now.